I'm a true hater of the Gregorian calendar. Like, I want to go by the seasons, let me hibernate in the winter. But even so, every year I somehow think that I'm magically going to be a whole new person that's insanely productive with tons of energy when January 1st comes around. Like, this here is the vision board of sorts I added to my junk journal at the start of the new year 5 weeks ago. It shows you how ambitious and optimistic I can be. However, I have failed to make much progress towards any of this happening. Like, I haven't gone snowboarding or camping, done a lot of crafts or sewing, and sadly haven't adopted a second cat yet. Honestly, I think the only thing that I really have done so far is chop my hair off into a pixie. Anyway, the goal during this vlog is to accomplish something so that my brain remembers how to accomplish things. And to finally share a secret I've been keeping for a little while now. But let's make a list. First, I need to organize my new office. And second, I'm going to do something I haven't done in years, honestly, and that is finishing an oil painting. So 2 very fun things, hopefully, for this vlog. As you may know, last year my husband and I sold our house and now we're renting a cute townhome. Unfortunately, that does mean that my studio space is now about, I don't know, a third of what it was before. But it's okay because, as I've mentioned in my vlogs a little bit over the past year, I'm kind of changing my business. My focus has really been on running the small business, which I have loved, don't get me wrong, but I want to focus my time on more art and videos. That means I'm giving up on a lot of the product options I have been selling over the years, like pins and bookmarks, which honestly breaks my heart. I'm very attached. But right now, I just can't do it all. I'm only one person, and I just really want to focus on making more original art, prints, videos, and stickers and t-shirts, actually. Anyway, first thing I'm doing is taking this packaging and tissue paper that I threw in my office and flattening it to store it. I try to reuse items like this where I can, so there's less waste. These are just going in a box and then going into my closet where I'm storing my packaging supplies along with some of my shirts and totes. Next up, I'm just trying to clear my floor, so I'm moving my sewing machine and some projects I need to sew onto my shelf across the room. Oh, and I'm curious, how many of you are actually interested in sewing or watching a sewing vlog maybe? Let me know. That's one of the things I wanted to get back into this year, so we'll see. I have a couple boxes from when I moved of supplies that I need to unpack, so I'm making this corner the hands-on art supply corner, like paints and clay and such. Also, this place was built like 5 years ago. Why are they still making awkward little corners like this? Like, totally optional. Since I don't feel like spending 20 bucks on a plastic box, I'm just going to use this cardboard box. I'm sorry, it's not very aesthetic. Maybe I can cover it in like fabric or something, or it'll just be temporary. I'm putting all of my, I guess I'd call it trinket making related stuff in here. So my tools and supplies for jewelry, bookmarks, keychains, magnets, and pins. Most of these, sadly, are the things that I'm going to stop selling once I use up all the supplies I have left. On the second shelf, I'm putting all of my art books and sketchbooks. By the way, Una, Inky Paper House on social media, sent me this coloring book and you should definitely go check it out. She's a fantastic artist I've been following for years, and this coloring book is awesome quality. It's printed on actual watercolor paper. I know this was a big project for her and she definitely deserves the support on it, so I'm gonna leave a link below so you can go give her some love. Also, coincidentally, my brother gave me this book for Christmas, not knowing that I followed Scott for years. I even randomly saw him at a Renaissance festival once. He's a fantastic human, and this is another great book rec. Lastly, I'm throwing my sticker drawer and other organizer on this shelf, and that pretty much makes this room functional, at least. It's not 100% organized or nice and decorated, but at least it works. I still have no idea where to put this paper trimmer though. Also, I've got to get some rods for these curtains soon, so that'll at least help liven the room up. Now this final box here is some blank t-shirts that I'm going to take downstairs now, where I have a secret to show you. The reason my husband and I got this townhouse specifically is because it has a 2-car garage. Not because we needed to store 2 cars, but because we needed the space for our new screen printing setup. What? I know, crazy, but my husband actually had a screen printing business in high school and college, and we're sort of reviving it for my business. Here's one of the presses we have. We actually have 2, we only have 1 set up right now though. And then here's a conveyor dryer, the exposure unit, a washout booth, and just like all the stuff that we need. We're very much in the beginning stages of this, and my husband is actually building an app right now, jack of all trades that he is, but eventually we'll be taking orders and making shirts for other people, along with making my own shirts too, of course. All very exciting and very cool because I'll get to verify the quality throughout the whole process, essentially. Now on to the second task of this vlog, creating an oil painting. Last year I took this photo of a duck and I just really wanted to paint it ever since. I also already prepped this little canvas with some extra gesso, which actually I'm not 100% sure is necessary, but I think it helps with the texture, so that's why I did that. Since I've been making digital and watercolor paintings for the past few years, I feel like I've completely forgot how to make an oil painting, and honestly I haven't even made that many oil paintings to begin with. So before I just jump into this, I'm actually going to take a quick painting class on Skillshare, who is kindly sponsoring this video. The class I chose is called Transforming a Boring Reference Photo, taught by the artist Suzanne Allard. That's the main thing I love about Skillshare. It's a platform where professional creatives share their knowledge with fellow creatives. So taking this class, I was able to get some pro tips that'll help me make my own boring reference photo into something a little bit more interesting. Suzanne showed her whole process of creating a painting and threw in little reminders that I personally needed, like not always holding your brush like it's a pencil. Of course, Skillshare is full of tons of classes in all kinds of different categories, from arts and crafts to business and productivity. I also saved the class Create High-End Brand Mockups using free images in Adobe Photoshop for later, since that's something I definitely could improve on my own website's images. Along with the class Affinity by Canva Essentials, Vector, Pixel, and Layout Made Easy, because as you may have heard, Affinity is now completely free and I'd love to learn that program. If you too are wanting to grow your skills or pick up a new hobby, learning from successful entrepreneurs, renowned graphic designers, professional artists, and other world-class creatives, be sure to check out Skillshare. The first 500 people to click the link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Now time to put Suzanne's tips into practice. Good morning. Now that I have officially organized my office, it is time to complete an oil painting. And yes, I am quite nervous about it. It's been so long. I'm gonna be Googling so many things. I brought my easel upstairs and this reproduction of a painting I made a long time ago to remind myself that yes, I do know how to paint. So I will put this somewhere in my line of sight for encouragement. This is what I keep my palette in, and I'm kind of scared to open it up because I think there might be some paint in here. Yep, I'm gonna have to clean that off. Ooh, it kind of smells weird. How to clean oil off glass. How?
Well, daily I spray my palette. I paint every.
Try to call this stuff odorless. This is why I haven't oil painted that often. It's always like an hour of cleaning. I somehow didn't realize it, but I have a whole set, like a whole palette of water mixable artisan oil paints. So I think I'm gonna try doing that instead of normal oil paints, so that I don't have to use like a solvent like this, because it'll hopefully be safer. However, I don't think that I can use liquid with these, or at least I can't use it with water, but maybe with these paints. It's so small. That's kind of funny. Before I start painting, I'm going to warm up with a sketch of the duck. Also, I'm definitely procrastinating because like I said, I'm scared. Surprisingly though, it felt really easy to sketch this duck. Really boosted my confidence, had me thinking I wouldn't have any issues when I switched to paint. And yes, that's foreshadowing. Aside from obviously being an artist and enjoying painting, another reason I wanted to make this painting was as an experiment of sorts. I'm considering starting a snail mail club, basically a subscription where members pay monthly and I send them prints and stickers and stuff in the mail. These are becoming really popular with artists lately, and I totally understand why. I think it's mutually beneficial. Supporters get physical art delivered to their door, it's nice and fun, and artists get sustainable income to keep creating. But I've been incredibly indecisive about actually doing it, partly because they're becoming so popular I worry about whether people would even want to join mine specifically. Like I'd either need to trust that enough people want to receive my art each month, or I need to pick a good concept, something interesting and unique. For example, one idea I had was a monthly study and art piece on an underappreciated or even extinct animal. Like there's literally animals out there you've never heard of. Another idea I had was to base it around my trip to Spain last year, but I wasn't sure if I liked that one just because it was so personal. However, I do have one idea I'm leaning towards, and that's making art based around the little moments of joy and feelings we as humans experience. Like standing in a creek on a summer day or laying in the grass watching the clouds. I'm very indecisive because I want to do it all, so I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. But the part that really freaks me out about starting a snail mail club is the weight of knowing that people are paying to receive something great every month. Not only are deadlines and I enemies, but also I know people will have expectations, and that type of pressure usually causes me to freeze. It doesn't make sense, I know, I'm just really good at self-sabotage. But I do think it could be really fun, and realistically it could, keep the lights on and allow me to keep making art. So I'm very seriously considering it. I just want and have to do it right. So I have a few questions for you if you're willing to answer them in the comments. What's your opinion on snail mail clubs in general? What would be a deal breaker about one of these for you? Would you want more than just a print, sticker, and letter, or is that actually perfect? I've seen people add puzzles or little crafts to theirs, pretty cool stuff. Do you care more about the art print itself, like what is being depicted, or just the general receiving something cool in the mail with a nice letter and pretty art and, more general? And finally, which of the theme ideas I mentioned earlier are you kind of leaning towards? Which one sounds interesting to you? So anyway, this painting fought me from the start. As you saw, the underpainting took multiple attempts to get the duck where and how I wanted it, and it was not detailed at all. Then, obviously, it was still wet, so it mixed with the colors of my next layer. I literally can't remember if you're supposed to let the underpainting dry before adding color, but I did not. This is why I should take more classes. Everyone always says, it's art, just do it, you'll figure it out, you can do it however you want. But honestly, that's not really helpful for the questions I usually have. Also, I could never really get that light, almost turquoise blue that you saw in the reference photo. Eventually though, I just stopped fighting the painting. I started throwing layers on more loosely, almost impressionistic, which isn't something I've ever really done before, but I wanted to stay away from realism, I guess. In the end, as you'll see, it's not exactly what I envisioned, and it's not very detailed. Like, there are blobs that were supposed to be leaves and you'd never know. But I'm actually kind of happy with how it turned out, and happy I just freaking made something at all. I put so much pressure on myself with art because art is how I make money, and because I put my art on the internet, which is a brutal place. It's been even harder lately because motivation hasn't really been there. I mean, it's somehow already February. My goals from the year feel like they're already behind schedule, which is frustrating, but also it seems to just be the way things go lately. Even though painting is a part of my job and even something I enjoy, I'm finding it hard to have the motivation. There's a lot happening in the world right now, unprecedented times and all that, and there's just so much to care about in 2026. From human rights and the economy down to whether the lettuce I want to eat is safe. I swear there's always a recall on lettuce. And then here I am, painting a duck. It feels a little silly, but I don't know. Maybe that's exactly why it matters. Maybe we need small, beautiful things, even imperfect ones, to keep us grounded when everything else feels like a mess. Maybe choosing to create anyway is its own kind of resistance. In any case, this duck painting exists now. Maybe it'll make you smile. My leaves don't look like leaves, but whatever. I finished my painting, and it was not nearly as difficult as I always seem to think oil painting is. Don't get me wrong though, my vision is still up here compared to my skill level, but I finished the painting and I like it enough. The funniest part to me is that this painting took me less time than it did for me to make most of these digital drawings that I turned into stickers on here. Like this one, I'm pretty sure took me like 2 days. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope your 2026 is going amazingly so far. Please don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think about the mail club idea, because I really want to know your opinion. Bye!